What if I told you that the key to friends and influencing people could be boiled down to just a few fundamental principles? Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, and instead of feeling nervous, you feel confident and at ease. You start building connections right away. Today we're diving into the timeless wisdom of Dale Carnegie's classic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book has sold millions of copies and has transformed the lives of countless individuals. Why? Because understanding human relationships is at the heart of building a fulfilling life. In the next 20 minutes, you're going to get a comprehensive summary of the key principles, stories, and tips that can help you become a better friend and influencer. Let's kick things off with the first major principle, the power of a name. Carnegie emphasizes that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest sound in any language. When you remember and use someone's name, it makes them feel valued and important. For example, think about the last time someone remembered your name in a crowded room. How did that make you feel? That's the magic of names.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin. And I know it's
Now moving on to our second principle, show genuine interest in others. People love to talk about themselves. When you ask questions and listen actively, it builds rapport and trust. Try following the 2-to-1 rule. For every 2 minutes you speak, let the other person speak for 1. This helps you gather information, understand their interests, and form a genuine connection. Next up is Principle 3, smile. Believe it or not, a simple smile can transform interactions. It conveys warmth, approachability, and friendliness. Have you ever noticed how a smile can light up a room? It's one of the simplest ways to break the ice and create a positive atmosphere. Now let's talk about the importance of listening. Carnegie argues that you should let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Encouraging them to share their thoughts, feelings, and opinions not only makes them feel heard, but it also strengthens the bond between you. An example of this is when you're at a networking event. Instead of trying to sell yourself, focus on really hearing what others have to say. Next, let's dive into a vital principle. Avoid criticism and condemnation. When we criticize others, it only puts them on the defensive. Instead, focus on providing positive feedback. By acknowledging strengths or accomplishments, you will foster collaboration rather than hostility. Now, Principle 5 emphasizes the power of respecting others' opinions. Even if you disagree, it's essential to show respect. Try phrases like, "I see where you're coming from," or, "That's an interesting point." This shows maturity and keeps the conversation constructive. It's all about fostering an environment where everyone feels safe to express themselves. Next, we come to admitting your mistakes. When you're wrong, own it. This builds credibility and trust. It shows humility and can often lead others to also own up to their own mistakes, making the conversation more open and honest. Let's move on to a compelling principle. Begin in a friendly way. Starting a conversation or disagreement on a positive note sets a great tone for what follows. Smiling, offering compliments, or simply greeting with kindness helps smooth the path for what might be tough discussions ahead. Another key point revolves around making the other person feel important. This doesn't mean flattery. This means affectionately and genuinely valuing them. Use genuine compliments, acknowledge their skills, and remind them of their worth. You'll be surprised at how far appreciation can go in fostering relationships. Then we have the principle of creating a desire in the other person. Frame your requests in ways that show the other person how your idea can benefit them. For example, if you want a colleague to help you with a project, highlight how their strengths will lead to better results and make them feel valued in the process. We can't forget about the power of praise. Never underestimate the impact a little praise can have on someone's motivation and spirit. Catch people doing things right, and let them know how much you appreciate it. Finally, wrapping up with the most important principle, become genuinely interested in other people. When you put others first and focus on what they need or want, it will inevitably make you more likable and influential. After all, forming connections is really about understanding one another. So there you have it, the timeless wisdom from how to win friends and influence people in just 20 minutes. These principles aren't just tips, they're a framework for building meaningful relationships in your life. If you found this summary helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What's the one principle that resonates with you the most? Remember to subscribe for more insights like this, and keep practicing these principles in your daily interactions. Be consistent, and you'll see the changes in your relationships in no time.